much attention, but the same year the temperature there went to 122 degrees Fahrenheit. This past summer in the American West, there were a lot of cities that broke all-time records for high temperatures and number of consecutive days with 100-degree temperature or more. 200 cities and towns in the West set all-time records. And in the East, there were a lot of cities that did the same thing, including, incidentally, New Orleans. So the temperature increases are taking place all over the world, including in the oceans. This is the natural range of variability for temperature in the oceans. You know, people say, oh, it just naturally goes up and down, so don't worry about it. This is the range that would be expected over the last 60 years. But the scientists who specialize in global warming have computer models that long ago predicted this range of temperature increase. Now I'm going to show you recently released the actual ocean temperatures. And of course, when the oceans get warmer, that causes stronger storms. We have seen in the last couple of years a lot of big hurricanes. Hurricane Jeannie and Frances and Ivan were among them. And the same year that we had that string of big hurricanes, we also set an all-time record for tornadoes in the United States. Japan, again, didn't get as much attention in our news media, but they set an all-time record for typhoons. Previous record was 7. Here are all 10 of the ones they had in 2004. The science textbooks have had to be rewritten because they say that it's impossible to have a hurricane in the South Atlantic, but the same year the first one ever hit Brazil. Summer of 2005 has been one for the books. The first one was Emily that socked into Yucatan. Then Hurricane Dennis came along and it did a lot of damage, including to the oil industry. This is the largest oil platform in the world after Dennis went through. This one was driven into the bridge at Mobile. And then, of course, came Katrina. It's worth remembering that when it hit Florida, it was a Category 1. But it killed a lot of people and caused billions of dollars worth of damage. And then, what happened? Before it hit New Orleans, it went over warmer waters. As the water temperature increases, the wind velocity increases and the moisture content increases. And you'll see Hurricane Katrina form over Florida, and then as it comes into the Gulf over that warm water, it picks up that energy and gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Look at that hurricane's eye. And of course, the consequences were so horrendous. There are no words to describe it.
We're getting reports and calls that is breaking my heart from people saying, I've been in my attic. I can't take it anymore. The water is up to my neck. I don't think I can hold out. And that's happening as we speak. We told everybody the importance of the 17th Street Canal issue. We said, please take care of this. We don't care what you do. Figure it out.
Something new for America. But how in God's name could that happen here? There have been warnings that hurricanes would get stronger. There were warnings that this hurricane, days before it hit, would breach the levees, would cause the kind of damage that it ultimately did cause. And one question we as a people need to decide is how we react when we hear warnings from the leading scientists in the world. There was another storm in the 1930s of a different kind, a horrible, unprecedented storm in continental Europe, and Winston Churchill warned the people of England that it was different from anything that had ever happened before, and they had to get ready for it. And a lot of people did not want to believe it, and he got real impatient with all the dithering. And he said this: "The era of procrastination, of half measures, of soothing and baffling expedients, of delays is coming to its close. In its place, we are entering a period of consequences." Making mistakes in generations and centuries past would have consequences that we could overcome. We don't have that luxury anymore. We didn't ask for it, but here it is.
Al Gore is the winner of the national popular vote, but the state of Florida, whomever wins there, wins the White House.
Florida in the Al Gore column.
Bulletin: Florida pulled back into the undecided column.
George Bush is the president-elect of the United States. He is one.
Florida goes Bush. The presidency is Bush. That's it.
And at 2:18 this morning, we project. All right, we're officially saying that Florida is too close to call.
While I strongly disagree with the court's decision, I accept it. I accept the finality of this outcome.
Bush, do solemnly swear
I, George Walker Bush, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the office of President.
Well, that was a hard blow, but what do? You make the best of it. It brought into clear focus the mission that I had been pursuing for all these years, and I started giving the slideshow again. One often unnoticed effect of global warming is it causes more precipitation, but more of it coming in one-time big storm events, because the evaporation off the oceans puts all the moisture up there. When storm conditions trigger the downpour, more of it falls down. The insurance industry has actually noticed this. Their recovered losses are going up. You see the damage from these severe weather events. And 2005 is not even on this yet. When it does, it'll be off that chart. Europe has just had a year very similar to the one we've had, where they say nature's been going crazy. All kinds of unusual catastrophes, like a nature hike through the book of Revelations. Flooding in Asia. Mumbai, India, this past July. 37 inches of rain in 24 hours. By far the largest downpour that any city in India has ever received. A lot of flooding in China also. Global warming, paradoxically, causes not only more flooding, but also more drought. This neighboring province, right next door, had a severe drought at the same time these areas were flooding. One of the reasons for this has to do with the fact that global warming not only increases precipitation worldwide, but it also relocates the precipitation. And focus most of all on this